completely ignore this, and now he's gonna go down with the ship here?
Maybe. I don't know. I can't get into his mind. I don't want to get into his mind right now, obviously. It seems like a dark place right now. So
why has it got to be a dark place?
Because that's what happens when bad things happen.
Whoa.
You're taking it to that spot. I'm not taking it to that spot.
I got followed by a Twitter account that's called Whoa Whiteside. What the fuck? I get some weird people following me on Twitter. I'm 20 away from 4,800, by the way. Follow me at Nick Gator.
Okay, so a bit of news that Nick will like here for UFC on Fox, April 18th in New Jersey. Ronaldo Jacare Souza will take on Yoel Romero. The fight that was supposed to happen in 2 weeks has now been rescheduled for the Fox show in Jersey. So how do you feel about it, Nick?
I can't wait. Jacare has cleaned up before any random drug testing. I think he's going to beat the shit out of this jabroni, and we're on to bigger and better things. I think he's going to take on Machida or Rockhold or Belfort or Silva. He's going to take on someone on his way to winning the UFC middleweight title. He is the uncrowned title holder in this division.
And if Chris Myron can ever get back in the octagon, it might be against him.
Hey, he's not gonna. He doesn't want to fight Vitor, so I can't wait for Jacare to win the title, and then you have a laundry list of fights for him to successfully defend that title. Rockhold, Machida, Belfort, Silva and Jacare in front of 100,000 people in Brazil. I'm not going to that, but if they do it in North America, I think I have to go.
True.
If they do it in Vegas, I think I have to go. But I'm not going to I'm not going to one of those soccer stadiums in Brazil in the rainforest that they used for the World Cup.
No, you don't want to go there?
I pass.
Okay, Nick passes. Also on that show will be a featherweight bout between Cub Swanson and Max Holloway. Fight night, May 10th in Australia. The main event will be a heavyweight bout between Stipe Miocic and Mark Hunt. A fight night, May 16th, in the UFC's debut in the Philippines, we'll see Uriah Faber move back up to featherweight to take on Frankie Edgar in the main event. And fight night, June 6th, in New Orleans, the main event, Daniel Cormier takes on Ryan Bader. So I feel bad for Ryan Bader because he's going to get smashed in that fight. Okay, so to wrap it up here, fight night this Sunday night in Brazil, of all places, of course. Really only two fights to talk about. The co-main event in the lightweight division, number 6 Edson Barbosa versus number 12 Michael Johnson. Should be a good fight. I like Barbosa in this fight. And the main event in the heavyweight division, number 8 Antonio Bigfoot Silva against number 13 Frank Mir.
In 2015.
In 2015, exactly. Tough one because both good on the ground. Bigfoot obviously, way more power than Frank Mir, but Bigfoot's head is just so gigantic that all you have to do is really just punch him in the face, and I feel like he'll go down. But I'll say Bigfoot wins by TKO, and he just smashes Frank Mir's head.
Let me ask you this, Corey, because Bigfoot had to stop taking. He was taking certain drugs to sort of regulate his system because of his gigantism and all of that. Yeah. So he had to stop taking that medication.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any chance that might mess him up a little bit?
Maybe. I mean, he did get knocked out by Arlovsky, but
I mean, Silva's shown he can't at this point this is not a guy who can really take a punch. I mean, and Frank Mir isn't the best. He's much more of a wrestler than he is a striker anyway. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I think this could make a difference here.
It could. I think it could. I think it's a toss-up fight. I mean, I definitely could see it going either way. If Frank Mir can tag him and drop him on the feet, then I think that there's something to be said about what you said, that this could have an effect on Silva. But I don't know. I kind of feel like it's going to go the way of how Silva Fedor went, where Silva just got him down and just smashed his face in. But
you don't think they're going to book Mir to look strong in case Lesnar comes back?
I don't know. I think they might have other fights for Lesnar if that happens. So
Alistair Overeem.
No, they won't. They won't put him in there with strikers because then he'll lose.
No, but they give Overeem enough money.
Well, I mean, okay. If we're gonna kayfabe this, then sure. But if we're gonna treat it legit, then he's not fighting any.
It's all kayfabe. What are you talking about? We don't have to kayfabe it. It's all a work.
Okay, calm down. Why are you getting so hot for?
Cornette and Danny Doring told me it's all a work.
Two guys I would trust with my life.
Absolutely.
Jim Cornette and Danny Doring. So that's all I got. Next week I'll tell you what happened, and we'll preview Ronda Rousey versus Kat Zingano.
I can give you the preview of Ronda Rousey versus Kat.
I'll give you the results of Ronda Rousey versus Kat Zingano.
Our victory for Ronda Rousey.
Yeah,
I'll give you an over-under of, we'll say...
2 rounds?
I'll give you over-under 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
2 minutes or 2 rounds?
2 minutes.
Wow, he said 2. I was giving 2 rounds.
Oh, 2 rounds? Oh, I'd go under.
Definitely under?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. But
I'm not impressed with Kat Zingano at all. I think anybody who really thinks she has a chance is just trying to buy into hype. Like, I don't think she is good enough to beat Ronda Rousey at all.
Well, then let me ask you a question. Who can beat Ronda Rousey?
Nobody.
No one that we know yet.
I think she retires undefeated.
That would be.
I've seen nobody in the UFC that can beat her.
They need to find somebody.
I don't think there's anybody out there that can beat her. I think if she fights Cyborg, I think she beats Cyborg.
Oh, there's somebody that can beat Ronda Rousey.
Who's that?
He's training in Milwaukee right now.
He's training in Milwaukee. Speaking of Lesnar, did you see that Lesnar offered to help Punk?
Oh,
is it really?
Yeah, that Punk said that Lesnar offered to help, with his training and all that.
Huh.
Well, I mean, he might. I don't know that CM Punk is going to be able to go on to that same kind of deal with he goes out into the woods and is bench pressing moose and things like that.
I just hope that he doesn't take striking advice from Lesnar.
Yeah.
That won't end well for Punk.
No.
Fantastic. When's,
all right, take us home. When's
we're,
what?
We're going home. We're going home.
What do you want to know for us? Say what you were going to say, and then we'll go home.
When is the next UFC pay-per-view? The Kat Zingano Ronda?
Yeah.
And that's the main event?
Yes.
Okay. Where's that emanating from?
Los Angeles. That wasn't supposed to be the main event. The main event was supposed to be Weidman versus Belfort.
Yeah, but Weidman's not going to fight Belfort.
But Weidman got a little boo-boo, and he pulled out of the fight again.
Yeah. He's never fighting Vitor Belfort. That's never happening.
I'm not going to say that you're wrong.
It's never, ever happening. I don't think Weidman wants to... I don't know who Weidman would be okay fighting. I guess he would fight Silva for the big payday again.
If it happens and they end up putting it on the card with John Jones and Rumble, we gotta arrange a trip.
It's possible, yeah.
Because that's a huge show if that happens.
Yeah, that's Memorial Day weekend, right?
Yes.
May 23rd.
Yeah. End of May.
Yeah, that's possible.
I'm only interested in Jacare.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. You've got me into this. You've got me my favorite.
When's the fights that didn't have Jacare in them?
Yeah, but that was before. I only go to here's the only UFC events I go to: Silva losing or Jacare winning.
You don't want to go to see potentially John Jones losing?
Oh, that would be good. I'm interested. I'm definitely interested.
That would be the main event. That would be the main event. John Jones versus Rumble.
Would that be the main event, or would that
be the main event?
The people's main event. You have all these rules about this is the main event. This is the people's main event.
No, that would be the main event.
So last week was the discussion of Mannequin, the main event, because it was the last thing that we talked about.
So it's hard to say because it wasn't a set thing. You can't have something like that.
That was like Hogan and Yoko at WrestleMania 9.
Yeah, that was not planned. I just came out of nowhere.
By the way, I don't know if you see our good friend Dan Alexander tweets the old rec.sports.pro wrestling posts from 18, 20 years ago, but they are incredible with some of the news that comes out about stuff that's happening and rumors and everything else. And it reminds you about how weird the booking was at times. I'd love to see what the internet would have done with the booking of the 97 lead up to WrestleMania. Because you had Austin win the Rumble, Bret Hart win the title at the February pay-per-view, and then the main event of WrestleMania ended up being Sid and The Undertaker. I think people would have been up in arms about that. Just my opinion. People are not happy now. Imagine if that's what we get. We have Roman win the Rumble and Lesnar be champion, and the main event would be like Bryan versus Cena for the title. That's basically what the equivalent was. And then we had Roman versus Lesnar not in a title match.
Yeah.
In a 5-star submission match.
Go home. Can't top that one.
Roman beats Lesnar with a bear hug.
It's what we need. What we need in WWE is more worked grappling.
Worked grappling.
Yes.
Just some worked, mixed martial arts. Just that's what we need. 2 guys just on the mat, just wrestling each other.
Wrestling. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's wrestling.
I like when they do that when they do that chant.
Yeah.
That's more of an NXT and independent.
Yeah.
They don't really do that at Raw because there's usually not a lot of wrestling to get into.
Next time I go to Raw, I'm gonna do a "This is talking" chant during one of the opening 30-minute.
Last night wasn't that bad though. It was only like
no,
minutes.
you're right. Last night.
I thought it actually was good. And you got the title over. They had a good little back and forth. See, I don't mind promos starting the shows if they're good. It's the ones that are drawn out and they serve no purpose.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the rah-rah, hip-hip hooray, let's all rally around the company John Cena promo.
Yeah.
But when he actually gets down to brass tacks and
when the thug comes out,
he's serious, it's good. It's not bad. It is pretty good stuff most of the time.
When the thug comes out of Cena, that's when he's on his game.
By the way, did you see the trailer for that Amy Schumer movie he's in?
I did.
I'm Is
that one that Nikki told him he couldn't do?
Yes, I think so.
Did you see his ass?
Yeah.
You see his O-face. You see a lot.
Yeah, he's on top of Amy Schumer just penetrating her, and he's done in like...
Whoa!
What? That's what's happening. I'm just trying to paint the picture.
Now, let me ask you...
I thought penetrating was a very clean word.
Right. Well, I thought you could have way dirtier than that. I thought that was...
Of all the ways to describe this, you could have said having sex. You could have said... How did you come up with penetrating?
I don't know.
That's the thing. That's the thing that came to mind.
It's something I've heard a lot of.
Penetrating?
Penetrating, yes.
I have no comment. But it looked good. LeBron looks pretty funny in it. Bill Hader is in it. Has a lot of good people. I liked Cena. I think Cena's line, someone calls him Mark Wahlberg, and he says, I look like Mark Wahlberg ate Mark Wahlberg or something. I thought that was a pretty good line. But I'll see that. I like most of the people in that movie, and I like to root for Cena in his career. And if it pisses Nikki off, so much the better. And that was obviously a work because there's no way that Nikki is going to get judgmental about stuff when
her ass is hanging out every Monday night.
Yeah, she's putting herself out there quite a lot.
And there's no way she has a problem with Cena making a movie in Hollywood. No chance. No. Money that he's pulling from that. No chance she's upset about it.
She just wants to get married.
That's going to be her foot in the door to get into Hollywood.
Exactly, tickly. Isn't that why they left the company in the first place, to go do movies and stuff like that?
Yeah, they wanted to branch out a little bit, and that didn't work for them, so they came back.
Well, like Mickie James left to go be a country star, and now she's wrestling again.
Yeah. Well, she never really left fully, though. Like, she did her album, but she went back. She went to TNA.
I remember her smoking in Miami.
Yeah.
Miami was interesting. We saw Mickie James smoking and El Generico eating pizza through his mask.
Great times.
Yeah, and then that was 3 years later. Look where we're at.
And then New Jack wanting to stab Dave at the bar.
It happens. They all can't be winners.
We met Freight Train that weekend too.
Did meet Freight Train, absolutely. I've seen Freight Train a couple times because I've gone to some of those shows in Jersey. But yeah. I need Freight Train and Hanma to be in NXT.
Oh God,
that's a tag team.
Wrap it up.
Now, just imagine the finisher could be Freight Train gives the DDT and Hanma does the headbutt. That's the finish.
Beautiful.
I'm in, Josh.
Oh, I am a big fan of Hanma as the lovable loser. Very much like my Chicago Cubs.
Oh, I thought they were going to the World Series this year. What happened?
What happened?
They are going to the World Series.
They're just going to lose.
Still lovable.
They're just going to lose the World Series.
Listen, if we get to the World Series and lose it, I will be
Yeah.
heartbroken.